I finally found a knowledge-based system that actually works. I'll be talking about it in this video. This video concerns all companies and everyone working or wanting to work with AI agents. Because this AI knowledge base, there were certain systems we previously defined as a second brain. These are brain systems where many points are interconnected. They were actually graph systems, and with vector systems like Obsidian or Pinecone, we connected and made sense of our data, enabling our agents and AIs to work better. But something was always missing. Language processing, well, there wasn't a complete package. A multi-billion-dollar company called Cerebras changed this. Cerebras is a firm that produces fast AI chips and works with multi-billion-dollar companies, and they've developed an AI knowledge base for their own internal systems. With this knowledge base, agents, employees, automations, everything communicates, and they handle the daily workload from here, and they found a way to develop this very securely and effectively. They found a way to turn all Slack conversations, emails, code databases, everything into a vector embedding, and anyone who wants to can ask this system any question. In other words, a live and secure system that learns the job and evolves with it. Most importantly, it's secure because your company data is there and you must not allow the AI to take it outside. This is the biggest problem we face when working with companies. This is the most frequently asked problem. This is the point we pay the most attention to. In this video, I'll first explain what this system is, how it works, and why it's different. I set one up for myself, and it works very effectively. I'm very pleased. I'll teach you how you can set it up too, how to set up this new knowledge-based system from Cerebras. If we're just meeting, I'm Mert. Artificial intelligence has literally changed my life. Thanks to AI, I've founded startups. We've started serving companies all over the world. Similarly, with the benefits of AI, we provide services in many areas within these startups, from decision-making mechanisms to marketing, from brand visibility in AI to the transformation of businesses and companies with AI, cloud code, and ERP and CRM systems. These are all actually separate companies. I'm here teaching you about how you can begin your very own venture, or about how to use artificial intelligence in your career in order to generate passive income, or even to found your own startup. The practical methods, how to find customers, how to make sales, all of that too. And actually, this video is a business idea in itself, because everyone I know, everyone I contact, and we talk to dozens of companies every week. The number of companies that don't need this system, let's not say number, but the rate is 1%. But 99% of them actually need such a service, such a system. So me explaining what it is and you understanding and turning it into a business model or applying it to your business will change a lot. Because what's coming is this, what we call agentic commerce, e-commerce, and agents, AI agents. In the same way, the participation of AI agents in the workforce. And similarly, AI agents taking daily actions at work. Agents are everywhere. They need to be in your CRM. They need to be in your ERP. Agents need to access your knowledge base and perform tasks. Doing this securely without causing any legal problems like GDPR and without leaking data is very important. And as I said, all companies need this, especially if they are working with AI agents and AI automations. Now, Cerebras explains in detail here how this works. It says that every day, all employees ask more than 15,000 questions. It's used with all tools, internal tools. It's been used for 3 months, and it's used by humans, automations, and agents. Every day, every year, hundreds of new employees join, and in their communication channels, they actually ask from here, X, where can I find X? Who is the expert on this? Or what is this? They actually ask these kinds of questions directly to this database instead of asking each other. Now, to understand this, first you need to understand the RAG system. What is the RAG system? Let me talk about that. The RAG system can actually be exemplified like this. I'll give a more concrete example. Now, you can think of the RAG system like this. Let's say there's a John. When I ask a normal LLM with the RAG system, how old is John? If I say that, it says which John. It says, But if I first say John, who is 34 years old, lived in London, and then ask, how old is John? It can tell me John is 34 years old. It does this thanks to the RAG system, because the model must get this data from somewhere. RAG pulls this information right in front of the model and gives it, and the model can answer us. You can think of it this way. If we translate this to the business world, let's say last week, let it be John again. What did he say in the meeting? It can look at Slack messages or review meeting recordings and say, John said these things. And then these things happened. The model can give me answers like that, thanks to this knowledge base. So what exactly is embedding? Let me explain that too. We translate raw data, like a Slack message, into an intuitive language that AI understands. But it's not just about the words. The cool part is we don't just store the data as it is. We first run it through a model, and then we ask it, who said this? When did they say it? Why is it important? What's the topic? So instead of just having a bare sentence like John likes penguins, we now have rich data with time, source, person, and context added all around it. Just like how a photo comes with metadata, like when it was taken or where it was taken. You can think of it like that. Why is this important? Because the other system can now perform ranking. With this data, it can rank which information is important and where it's located. Information from a founder or manager from 30 seconds ago is far more important than info from a junior employee 3 years ago, and the model can understand this. When you say the last seminar or the last meeting, it doesn't just look at every single meeting or seminar. Since there are already rankings, it directly pulls the most recent one. What separates a good knowledge base from a bad one isn't how much data or how many documents it has, but how quickly it brings the most accurate version and if it brings it correctly. Being able to do that, these rankings and this system actually provide a solution for that. Now I'll get to the system. I want to show it from here. The system here consists of layers. Where does the information come from? It comes from Slack, it comes from the wiki, it comes from code data and repos, it comes from Netlist, it comes from PRM docs, from documents, or it comes from custom databases. The system actually takes the information first. Then it turns this information into an embedding, as I said. This is the embedding part. We made this an arrow. Let me do it like this. This is the embedding part. You embed this into the file. You do the metadata, the rankings, everything. And in the third layer, as I said, there are 3 layers. This is the part where you interact with the information. This could be through an MCP, a web interface, or agents could interact with it, and you simply ask questions here using a chat logic. You can think of it like that. This is very important. This is the most important part. Designing who interacts with this data and which layer has access to how much data and what level of permission they have is honestly the most important part of this. Because you can think of everything here as a massive company database. And they accumulate here, and people from every level shouldn't have access to the same information. Configuration is very important here. Also, AI agents at every level shouldn't have access to the same information. The key part here is this. With the model we're building, our data will never leave the company. It'll be processed in internal databases using small AI models. That's the most important part. So we aren't sharing the data with a third-party source or an AI model. We're processing it inside the company. Small AI language models are sufficient for this. We'll build this together anyway. You'll see how we build it in a moment. The key part is this. Authorization is the most important, as I said. You can bring in all the HR data. You can set up many systems related to HR. You can bring in all your customers. You might be making inferences and processing them, but you can't open all data to everyone. C-level will be separate. HR data will be separate from what HR wants to do, but even the layers within HR are separate. But it's not hard to set this up at all. With the right setup, you can easily configure which data goes where. Now let's go to Cloud Code and build this system together. As I said, it's available here in great detail. You can actually see the layers here. It's separated in the same way, but the basic logic is this. The source goes to distillation. The LLM scrapes the info, then it goes to embedding, just as we discussed. And then the RAG system is set up after this embedding. Then comes fusion. There's a reweighting, a re-ranking system, And finally, there's synthesis. That's the part where we get our answer. They've combined the 4 most powerful systems here while doing this. That's why it's so great. And from this data they shared, from this system, they've actually shared in great detail how everything works. You can see it here. We actually took this and turned it into a system for our own use. And in this video, I'm showing that to you. Now we'll move on to the setup part. Here's what we'll do. First, I'm taking this blog post. Whoops, we took a bit too much. Let me start from here. Okay, I've got it. I came here let me close this. I opened a Claude instance here in the terminal. First, I'm pasting this blog post here. Pasted it. Now I'm also pasting a prompt. My prompt. I left it as my business for myself. You can set up or put your own business here. I have Slack, email, GitHub, and my YouTube channel. Examine these for me, this blog post, and build this exact system. Enrich the data with metadata, and I'm saying make all the text, everything deployable, meaning searchable, and for me, we're now in Fable 5. I'm putting it in plan mode. It's going to start setting up. It started here. Let me do something else too. I also wanted to visualize it with a diagram. Let it do that while it works. As you can see, it visualized it. What you see here is the system I just set up. 3 layers. Wiki 1358 records, GitHub 12 weekly, YouTube 139 records, 2 channels, Gmail. There's a local enrichment model and data doesn't leave. We're using this here. We're using the Qwen 2.57 billion parameter model. 6 or 7 gigabytes of RAM is enough for this. And we're also using the local thing. For the embedding model, 8 gigabytes is enough. This way, no data leaves and it all stays right here. Layer 2 is the query. First, layer 1 is SQLite. Well, we use BGE M3 for embedding, as you can see. Then it's set up based on semantic chunking with a hybrid search weight formula. Then, if you want, it connects to Claude Code via MCP. You can do anything, anywhere you want. And in layer 3, as I said, access and audit. Close to the outside. The audit log records who asked what and what source returned, so you can track who got what info and what was returned within the company. Every access is read-only, so they can't interfere with the system. Now let's take a look and try it. It should be set up by now. It's set up. Okay, I'm opening it. Let's not just say hello. What's the status of our game projects? Relevant records are being pulled and an answer is being generated. By the way, 1,509 records. GitHub 12, Wiki 1358, YouTube 139. Everything is data. My previous questions are also listed here. So far, I've actually made 30 queries. It got 27 right, and for 3 of them, it said I don't know the answer to those. That's a good thing. It doesn't make things up. It doesn't hallucinate. We have a live, breathing database now, and you can do all company business, everything from here. That's what's so valuable. We've seen everything here. For example, Popian, or let's do this. What are today's featured videos? On what topic do you want them? I can run the radar. It says in the memory. It says, let it check the radar there. I already have a system that tracks successful videos every day. Let's see what's come in, what's been recorded. Claude Design 2.0. You'll see me pull this soon. Claude AI for real estate agents. I've done this one. Claude Code Free Unlimited. As you can see, it's been recorded there up until June 26th. This was there on June 26th, for example. So I can talk to all the data, the entire database right now. I can change this with MCP. I can change this interface. It comes to me with documents if I want. You can do everything. You can manage your HR. You can use all your Slack conversations for the marketing department like an internal intranet. But it's a live processing info you're constantly aware of. So what happened in the last meeting? Why did this client object? How much payment came in that last sale? Did it arrive or not? There's an AI language model where you can discuss everything from here. It communicates in a completely closed source and with a fully local model. The model I'm asking these questions to and that's answering is local. It's the Qwen model, as you can see. Qwen is actually a model that runs locally on my computer, gives no info to the outside, and processes all data here. That's why this is very important for the future of companies. If you're working with agents, using automations, and say new employees are constantly joining, they need training, they have questions, If you need to work on these things, you can do it with this method. Other methods either leak information or they're not effective. But this one is truly very effective. You can direct this to a mobile application. By using this within Slack, you can turn it into bots that provide info to departments and talk to them. Or your employees can communicate with this system directly via WhatsApp or any email, and thanks to this system, they can learn how to do what and who to get help from. You can make all kinds of internal company communication much more effective through this system with AI help. I hope it has been useful. If you'd like to join us, you can join through digitalacademy.com.tr or our school address. We are constantly developing systems like this. With these projects, we transform companies' workflows and provide services. You learn here how to do these things, how to start a venture, and provide services with it in this age of AI automation and AI agents for your own career and startup. Or if you want to train yourself in passive income or vibe coding, AI agencies, Claude Code, or any subject, there are countless lessons and modules inside. Everyone follows their own chosen journey, and every day you can follow the events from here. You can also follow our live lessons. If your company has such a need, you can also contact us via WhatsApp in the About section here by clicking like this, because this is what all companies need right now. When you set this up, it actually gathers all the company's Excel files, turns them into a database, and lets you talk to them. You can enable it to talk with all your customer lists. We use these very effectively, but this setup we've built has opened up many more doors for us as well. Both internally and externally, I wanted you to learn about this as well. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.